Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast. My name is Jędrek.
My name's Masha.
So we can repeat after the famous world leader right now. Masha, tut. Jędrek, tut. Our guests, tut.
Who is this famous leader?
Oh, you don't know that leader?
Oh,
Don't you know? It's actually the president of your country.
okay.
If you watch the early videos from the invasion, the
you
infamous
mean when he
invasion,
said the government is here?
yeah, when
Okay.
they were, I don't know,
President's
where
here.
were they? They were in some kind of a square.
Yeah, the president's office, yeah, on Bankowe Street.
And said, President, tut.
Wow.
Prime Minister, tut.
Okay.
Okay. Tut, which means here, right?
Here, yeah.
Yes, right. Tutaj in Polish, right? Right.
Okay.
Today is a special episode because we have also very, very special guests.
Finally.
Finally, yes. So I would like to introduce them, but before I do that, before I let them speak, I want to say that they are my students, but I didn't want them to be my students. What an introduction, right? I mean, I remember when just before we started having classes, I was really against that. I was saying, no, I'm not teaching teenagers. I'm working with adults. And but because of the pressure I was under, I mean, because their mom was pushing me like, what are you talking about? You're not teaching teenagers. You have to try just at least one class and say, okay, I can try. We can try. And after that, we tried, and I must say these are one of the best classes I'm running right now, I think, for sure. So with that being said, hi and welcome to Zuza.
Hi.
Hi, Zuza.
Hi.
And hi, Piotrek.
Hi.
All right. You are both high school students, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you live in Katowice. Masha, do you know where is Katowice? You know it?
Oh, it's not far from the border.
Yes. I mean, technically nothing in Poland is far from the border.
Yeah.
Well, okay, great. Yeah. It's a city. I mean, everybody knows Rzeszów right now. If you drive a little bit farther, you have Kraków, and after that you have Katowice. Right. So, guys, I think, Masha, do you have any small talk question here?
Small talk. It's very different small talk. We usually talk about teaching and this stuff. You're a better teacher, not a better teacher. But maybe let's ask. I mean, of course, you're here, they're teachers, so they will probably not be honest. But what they like about classes, what they don't like about classes.
So maybe I think we like when on our classes with Jędrek, we're talking too much, of course, but on our classes in school, I prefer when we also are talking. But unfortunately, on our classes in school, we have lots of tasks when you have to write, and our teacher isn't very kind. So I prefer.
Wasn't kind, but you have to give your teacher a credit. There are how many people are there in your English class at school?
14.
Yeah, 14. I think managing this.
Yeah, can you be kind to 14 teenagers?
No.
I think yes, because when we have physics classes, then our teacher is very kind, and I like her very much. So I think
but that's a skill, that's a skill. This management, like a classroom management, a classroom of 14. Come on, I mean, it's hard work, I think. All right,
maybe.
but
So
that is
when we are talking on our lessons, then making tasks.
Yeah. I mean, because I never treat you as students. I mean, yeah, you're like conversation partners more than really students. And I'm really glad also that I was given this, let's call it, liberty to do whatever I want in this class. I mean, I don't have to prepare you for the matura or some kind of certificate or help you with your homework. So I'm not doing this, and I'm really glad, because this way I just can ask you questions, confront you with all these crazy questions that we went through. And today there's another set.
Okay.
Great. Piotr, any comments from you? I don't know. What do you think about English classes?
I just don't know I just don't know. Oh no. I just don't know what to say. I don't know.
Yeah, let's be polite, to everybody. I mean, especially English teachers, school teachers, and so on. But like I say, you have to also give them the credit that they work with a lot of students. Fine. So with that being said, oh yeah, Masha, you have to give me the permission, for
you have sound.
It. You did. Oh
yeah,
I have it. All right, great. Fine. So anyone knows a joke? Masha, you know a joke?
Oh, my jokes, they're not funny.
You're not funny, right? I'm asking you because I'm waiting for the platform to start before I can play the famous sounds. Okay, great. There we are. So guys, I hope you're ready. Let's go. Let's start.
Round 1.
Who do you think the modern world needs more? Engineers or poets? What do you think? And I guess it's kind of asking you about whether let's say the humanities or science is more important right now.
But sister, maybe you can try first.
I wanted to say the same, but I can try. So I think that
poets or engineers?
Engineers are, I think, more important, but on a more technological way. Like, I think everybody needs engineers in their life, but no, because they are.
No, I like where this is going. It's like not everybody needs poets.
Yes, I think that not everybody.
When was the last time I was reading poetry?
But right now we are reading poems on school. So if there wouldn't be poems in school, we probably wouldn't read it. Yes, but engineers are building houses or making
planes.
Lots of things.
Lots of things. I mean bridges and also apps, right? All these all the software.
I think
engineers or not?
No, not apps, not software. Maybe hardware, but planes, tanks, cars.
Yeah,
we definitely need more tanks.
Oh yeah. let's steer away from the.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but okay, but what about the poets? Come on, Piotr, you think they are useless?
I think that it depends, of course, but it depends. What do you want more? Do you want more, for example, cheaper sandals, or t-shirts, and fastest way to production some things, or do you want more literature? So if we are a gray man and just living, why we want? I think that we don't want the poets because they don't give us anything.
But
Just the word.
All right.
But I can't agree because, for example, during Second World War or earlier, we had lots of hard or difficult situations in our country, and then all of these poets were giving us hope, and even if we were in very difficult situation, and we couldn't do a lot, they were with us, and because of their work and their poems, they were giving us hope. And
I think we
Yes.
kind of we underestimate this role of poets, I guess. I know also, Zuza, by the way, that during the Second World War, some poets were fighting and dying. And I like Krzysztof Kamil Baczyński in Poland was a poet who died in the fight, being, I know, a 20-something-year-old, I guess, boy,
Yes.
And so
yes,
the best talent was being wasted there.
And it's for me, it's very interesting that do you know, I think you know Kamienie na szaniec. I don't know how to say it.
Masha, probably it doesn't tell you much. No, but it's if you could explain, Zuza, what is Kamienie na szaniec,
So it's a story about 3 young men, and they were young, and they were in difficult situation that they had to fight for their country,
because the background is the war, right? This is the time of the war.
Yes, and in this book are their stories and how they were fighting, and lots of important moments in Second World War are in this book. And yes, so Krzysztof Kamil Baczyński was very close with these 3 young men, and he knew them, and he was fighting with them. So I think that it's, of course, it's sad because they were very young, but I was surprised when I was reading about him, and I saw that he's connected with them very close.
And but now I think we talk about right now, like, poets, fighters. I mean they after all they
yes, but earlier there was, of course, Adam Mickiewicz, or all of
Mickiewicz and Słowacki. Sorry, Masha, for using Polish. I know it's quite interesting, actually, when you think about Ukraine, and I know Taras Shevchenko, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the only I think it's about the only writer I know, Ukrainian writer, but I think it's the literature of Ukraine is kind of undiscovered yet. It's kind of
So it's yet to be discovered.
It's yet to be discovered, yeah.
But
it's yet to be discovered.
Did engineers also fight in the Second World War?
I guess they did. I mean, sure.
But not they fighting, but they just. I think that the value of engineers are the things that they build.
Yeah.
In the world,
and they were Piotr, because they engineers are fighting, but not just like themselves physically, but their ideas are fighting.
Yes and no,
their
because
creations.
in the army there are I think the core how to say it oddziały,
divisions, maybe
divisions of engineers, and they I don't know, they I think do some construction things or the explosive materials, but
yes.
Yes.
And you need engineers to cross the river.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was, well, in Middle Ages you need engineers to cross a river, so it's a big
Zuza,
problem, but poets are of course they are
and then can poets cross the river?
A little bit needed in the world, but they just writing and in some cases dying, so
but I have an idea, because I think that engineers are more needed in our daily life, and I think everybody knows why. But we saw in our history that when there was a critical situation, then poets are more important, I think, because when it's a war, no one thinks about discovering new technology, and
no.
But
No, but Zuza, you talk about the masses, right? You talk about the people who are affected by the war, because I guess that the war is actually the time when ideas move faster. I guess it's the development of weapons, especially, and so on.
Yes, but
I don't know why we are having this military. Masha, is your presence here?
It's my the comment about tanks. Yeah, modern world. The question was in modern world, right? The modern world is not only about war. I hope there are places where there is no war.
Right, but wait, Zuza, you had sorry, I interrupted you, but what do we? I mean, Masha, I'm genuinely interested in your opinion. I mean, who does the modern world need more, poets or engineers? Come on, and please say poets.
Yeah, you look at the famous. Okay, any celebrity, by poets I would include here, all artists, right? That's what they.
Yeah, of course. When I say poets, I mean artists and.
So tell me, do you know any engineers?
By name?
Yeah.
Do you know any modern engineer? No, I don't.
But if I ask you singer, writer, dancer,
yeah, you're right.
You will give me many. And yes. They make, at least in show business, pop artists, they make a lot of money. So supply, demand, what is rewarded in our society?
But wait a second. I mean, you're trying to say that what engineers are anonymous, kind of, nobody knows them by their name. But so yes. What? I mean, does it mean that they are less useful, or what's the?
Well, if you know, footballers, very, very famous footballers, you know how much money they get?
Yes.
It means that they are very, very important for us. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so rich.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I like this.
And at the end of the day, once, I mean, you've crossed your bridge, you've, I don't know, used your apps, you're willing to pay a lot of money to go and watch a play or a concert.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but it's like the cherry on the cake, you know, or the icing.
I don't know.
Even if,
of course, I mean, Maslow's pyramid is you at the bottom.
You know, first you have
food.
the Wi-Fi connection, you know.
Okay.
Next you have food, then you have water, you know, and so on. And on top of that, you have your Super Bowl or whatever is, you know, the NBA games. Yeah, but it's a good argument. That's okay. That
more.
More Piotr has a lot to say. He's like chomping at the bit. Let him say.
No, not like this. But if we have a more poet, it's mean that we have the more valuable literature, or for example, if we have more players, it means that they play better. It's something like that. For example, we know the players who play in the first league, you know, but second, third, fourth, no, we just don't know their names. And there are many guys who play football, writing books, but this is a mass of, you know, unuseless players or writers. It's something like we just watching and reading the guys who are famous, or their books are famous.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit lost because we were talking about poets, and now we are talking about
footballers.
Yes,
because
I use this example to demonstrate.
Zuza, but you know,
but I don't think we can compare poets and footballers, because poets are
let's call them performers, you know, because they
entertainers.
Actually, entertainers fine, but I don't think that actually. Yeah, I agree with Zuza that we cannot compare poets and footballers. I'm like, who did this trick here? Masha, you did.
I just used it to demonstrate, you know, how much money, you know, they are really rich.
But really, you think poets are rich? Like famous poets are rich?
No, not poets, but
they can win
singers,
a Nobel Prize, and
singers,
they can get singers. Okay, singers, fine. But what about
singers are also?
What about
there's a poet.
You talk about pop.
Was involved.
You talk about pop culture. You talk about pop
rock.
culture. They are rich. So okay, rock. But what about the singers that, you know, that sing at the opera, or, you know, artists that or musicians that actually play in the orchestra? You know, I don't think these guys are like filthy rich, like, you know, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but do you know any filthy rich engineers?
Yes. For example, I know. I think that Elon Musk was an engineer, but it's more than. Right. Oh no, they aren't engineers. Rich. They are more like. I think the rich guys. I don't know how to say.
They are simply rich guys, you know.
They just,
I think Piotr, you are totally right. Musk.
Elon Musk, or Bill Gates. You know, they just.
You're right. Gates is an engineer. Come on. I mean, he hasn't finished any college, but
they are very close, because, you know, they sit in the high tech, and just their projects win something, and they become rich, and they are famous. But there are more not engineer like they do this work, but now they are more like
stars.
Like superstars.
Yeah, something like this.
Celebrities, I think. Like Elon Musk is a celebrity right now, I think.
Yes.
But it doesn't change the fact that he was or he still is an engineer, I think. I'm not sure about Gates, like I said, because I know he hasn't finished college. So technically,
yes, but,
maybe he's
he
not in.
work with someone who, and maybe not was, I don't know, he was or wasn't engineer, but he do some work in this.
Sure, I mean, he was working day and night when he was young. He was, he was working like crazy, and he was really writing programs. And he was working a lot. The fact that he hasn't finished any university doesn't change the fact that he's a brilliant guy. I mean, actually, he hasn't finished the university because he's brilliant. Was too brilliant for the university.
This is what you're teaching young people, yes, in your classes. Don't forget about university. You're brilliant.
No, I didn't. I hope it's not the message I'm sending, but actually.
Okay.
But it's time. I think it's time to maybe try and vote for the conclusion. I mean, who's more needed, poets or engineers, or let's say artists or
I think it's
science
like
people.
Do you know a new iPhone or a new book? It's something like this.
When you put it like this, it's pretty easy choice, yeah. Yeah.
What is the choice?
I don't know.
Of course, an
What's
iPhone.
the choice, Masha?
Of course, an iPhone.
And it's for example, if you have one iPhone, and you see new iPhone in the shop, you not always, but in some cases you go to this shop and buy it. But I think that if I have an iPhone, I just want to buy a book. But it's mean, what do you want? You want to write a poem or listen a music, or buy something new in lower prices.
But I'm not sure are singers poets, but
I think there are.
But why?
A little bit.
Like I think
if they write Piotr, if they write their lyrics,
they
are. But some of them are just saying the lyrics that were given to them by Timbaland or some other producer.
Yes. And also singers are more focused on the melody or just on the music, and there are some musicians who want to tell a story, for example, in their songs, but
to send some message.
Yes, but I think that if there is a singer who is writing a text by himself, I think he is, but in most cases there are lots of people which are helping to this artist and writing text for him.
Wasn't there actually a singer who won a Nobel Prize in literature? Was it what's happening here?
Yeah, you got
all right.
Everything's okay now.
All right. Fine. So I don't know if you heard, but I think there was a musician who got a Nobel Prize in literature. It was Bob Dylan, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so well, whatever. He got
it. Yeah. But still, but then there you have. But wait, I wanted to refer to something that Piotr said before, that because Piotr, you said that everything depends on what you need, whether it's an iPhone or a new novel. But these needs or desires, they originate from somewhere. They start somewhere. And I think that the more tech the more technology dominates, the more your needs are technological, because you're kind of, there are new gadgets, new iPhones, so your next desire is a new iPhone, the next iPhone, I guess, or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I want to say that if we let things, I don't want to sound like a dictator or someone, but
or like someone who is 60.
Yes, but if we let the technological progress dominate, and if we allow engineers, or if we produce as let's say as an education system, if we produce engineers, which actually isn't happening right now, but we actually have more marketers than engineers, but it doesn't matter. But I guess that if we do that, and if we become kind of technology obsessed, then we'll push out this let's say a humanistic side of our life. I don't know if you agree with that.
I don't really know. I disagree with this.
So I want to vote for poets. If we see poets as singers or more maybe songwriters, I am voting for poets, because I think today and in our times we have so modern technology, and we don't really need probably as humans and in our daily life, we don't really need more modern technology. Like, I think that right now we can live with everything what we have.
You want to say, Zuza, that you don't need the Chat GPT?
Yeah,
but we already have it. We already have it.
Oh yeah, we already have it. All right.
So I don't.
But the Chat GPT 4.0,
So I don't need engineers to discover better Chat GPT or better computer or better phone, because I already have it, and I don't need anything more. So
yes, but sister, the guys who lived in Middle Ages, they think the same,
Yes, but
we want to change roles and go to the Middle Ages.
But I think that I think that I could live in Middle Ages. Like, I don't know what I would think if I live in Middle Ages, but I know what I think right now, and I know what I know right now. So right now I can say that I don't need anything more. For me,
life was so simple back then,
But for me, more important is music, and is values about which this music is talking about, more than better technology.
Yes, sister, but maybe some in our world are people that want to just sitting with the cross legs and do nothing. So technology is the best way to do nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's why we keep inventing, and I think it's unstoppable. Once I think the wheel was invented, or I don't know what was the first technology, whatever. I mean, it can't stop, because there's always the need to maybe not to simplify, but to make life easier. Why not just press one button instead of I don't know what.
If the jak jest potrzeba w sumie?
The need,
Okay, yes. If we say that the mother of technology is need, so
yeah.
if we just for example, nowadays we don't, for example, need anything. Like my sister, she wants only a music.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her iPhone. I mean, she's full of tech.
But-
I mean, she's
So
fed up with it.
maybe we just can't stop at technological progress. But I think that this question is, what do you want, not what is more important? Because the more important is this, what do you want? At the end of the day,
But I told you, Peter, so where is this? What do you want coming
who
from?
can say that this guy is more important than that guy? It's for you. You can say that this is more important than that. So
yeah, and that all comes down to values that we have, right? Because depending on your values, you make your choices.
And if all peoples are different values, so we can't just answer this question like poets are more important than engineers, or engineers are more important than poets, because who can say it?
Who will be the judge?
For example.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
For example.
For example, if I would have a poet in my family, then the poet would be more important for me. But if in my family will be an engineer, then
Exactly.
engineer will be more important for me. Yes.
Yeah, this is what a philosopher called the emotional order. It's not based on any kind of merit or any kind of objectively measured whatever what is needed objectively, but basically my mom is a poet, so I love poets, and I don't care about all these engineers and so on, and this is great. This is actually how humans live, I guess. And this is also the source of corruption. It's a long story, but generally we favor I think still
so you're saying that the reason is alien to us?
It's not like it's alien, but it's inferior to emotions, I think. And if you live in this emotional order, then you basically favor what your heart is telling you, not what the brain maybe is whispering, I guess. Great. Well, that was I don't know if there's any there's no conclusion, but I agree with Piotr that everything comes down to this famous "it depends." I know we spent so much time talking about whether poets or engineers are more important, but at the end of the day, it depends for who and so on. I know I hardly ever ask personal questions, but are you, Zuza and Piotr, are you going to pursue humanistic science or human sciences or science, pure science? Don't know if there's any middle way. I'm talking about your future, I'm talking about your choices, I know, when it comes to university or Zuza, do you vote science or do you vote liberal arts?
Science more.
Science. Right.
Yes, and I think
right.
I don't know how about my brother?
I think I too better. It just can change.
Science is the future. I mean, it definitely is when it comes to, I know, Masha and you. It's
sorry, but I'm it's kind of too late. That was a cruel question,
But what? No, but wait a second. If I get it right, if I remember correctly, you studied law, right?
Yeah.
So at one point in your life, you chose is actually law humanistic science?
Yeah,
it is.
Of course, yeah.
Of course.
But if I could go back, I would have chosen, I don't know, microbiology. It's fascinating. Or I would have studied the human brain or something like this. I would have definitely become a scientist. Sorry.
I was thinking today, if I had one more life, I'd like to be a rescuer. I saw a Polish team of rescuers going to Turkey,
Turkey. Mm-hmm.
And they had dogs, these dogs that help to search people. Oh, this must be a amazing life, to be a rescuer like that. I mean, so full of meaning. They probably earn less than any kind of corpo job,
A footballer.
but or footballers, yeah. But come on, what a life is that? Amazing. You leave, you say goodbye to your family, and you leave to help other families. It's amazing.
But your question, that being said, about my having a time machine, I'm still I play two musical instruments. I did a course in creative writing, so it's you'd like to have a hobby like this. And we all listen to music when we have free time. We all love listening to music. Can you imagine your life without music? And music, it's
sure
like
not.
songs, and somebody has written the lyrics. Or, I mean, we're not talking only about poets, but all kinds of art, right? As far as I understood. So can you imagine your life without any art? Be it movies, books, theater.
I cannot, but I think, like I said, that I think that technology dominates to the extent that I know that we have Netflix, Disney Plus, and all that, and we can actually consume some kind of cultural products, right? I mean, but still, I don't know if the culture is getting like shallower and shallower, which means that
you mean movies are becoming longer.
Yeah, movies are becoming
shallower.
All right, I don't know. I like what Zuza said at the beginning. That poets are actually, they might play a huge role. We just underestimate that. Not saying that everyone should be a poet right now, but still, I think these people, are very important still. However,
maybe
I know they are marginalized.
If all of people, if there are more poets than engineers, or there aren't engineers, we just can stay in the Middle Ages. So I don't know. And I don't know
wait.
what thinks about
I want to ask
you.
I want to ask
Middle
you.
Ages. Sci-fi.
But Piotr, do you think that poetry made any progress since Middle Ages? Technology definitely did. Do you think that poetry made any progress?
I think that yes, because I don't know
since
that
Jan Kochanowski.
Adam Mickiewicz think about the science fiction.
Well, Mickiewicz is not. These are not Middle Ages. I think Kochanowski or I don't know, or even earlier.
I think, of course, because if we change the world a little bit, I think that for example, if we are just staying in Middle Ages, I don't know that the Lamb can write his book about, fantasy book about the, I don't know how to say it.
Masha, do you know Stanisław Lem?
Of course I do.
Yeah. You do, yeah. He was born in Lviv, I guess.
Maybe.
All
right. I want to answer to this question because I want to compare two poets. For example, Adam Mickiewicz and the poet of modern
for
world.
Those wait, Zuza, just for our listeners who don't know Adam Mickiewicz, because there are listeners from all around the world, from South America, they may have little idea about who Adam Mickiewicz. This is it is said he is said to be the greatest Polish poet, and he is the poet from the epoch of Romanticism, right?
Okay, so and another one is a poet of modern words. I think very popular in Poland, but not too much. And
who is it?
It is he is Jaś Kapela.
It's a joke.
Don't know him. But
I just the name rings a bell, but I think he's kind of a controversial figure. I think
yes, and he thinks that he is a big poet, and
but Zuza, he thinks he is. I don't know if I think I'm sorry, I don't know much about Jaś Kapela, unfortunately, but I think he's some kind of self-proclaimed poet. I mean, sorry, I don't know his output, but I'd rather be compared. I know Szymborska, who's the Polish Nobel laureate.
Okay, right. So, but I wanted to compare them because, I know Jaś Kapela as a poet who thinks that he's great, but he already isn't, and this is one of we don't have lots of poets right now, lots of young poets, and I think that he's probably the youngest person
all right. But what about the quality?
Poet, so
but do you think there's any progress in poetry? I mean,
no, I think that I wanted to compare them because I think that it's a very big regress if we read Adam Mickiewicz and if we read one of his poems.
But sister, for example, we have Olga Tokarczuk. He is still alive. She do very good books, and it's not like regress because, for example, if we want to go past, we just don't know that in the past was someone like Jaś Kapela. If we look past, we see only the big
the biggest, the greatest.
Okay.
The greatest, but
but then Piotr, if you compare the greatest from the Middle Ages with the greatest today or in the 20th century, can you actually say that there is any progress? Because I don't think that there's any progress in art. I mean, what would that mean? Because, like better words or
no new ideas? Just for example, I don't know that Mickiewicz thinks about the.
I want to say he was thinking a lot about freedom, and freedom is still valid, as a.
But for example, now we can say or think about the meeting with, for example, new civilization or something like that. It's just evolving, and I can't say that this poet is better than other poet, but it's not like we are regressing or we are better. We have better poets, but I think that I don't know.
Can you say that about engineers? That there's progress in their work?
In work, yes, but there are in Middle Ages are better engineers that in nowadays, or just they have different tools, like in literature.
I remember, Piotr, I remember
our times meme. There are different tools to make the books or to think.
There was a nice meme on Twitter the other day. I saw, the architects from the Middle Ages and the fantastic cathedrals, amazing, and the architects today and this kind of, crappy building. like total crap, you know. So I guess we have some kind of regress, but of course, again, we compare the best to, you know, the average at most, you know. So but I guess it's interesting, you know, because if you think about engineers like building pyramids or something, it was an incredible achievement, engineering achievement, you know.
Can you imagine what these guys would have been capable of if they had the technology we have today? Oh my God,
they would definitely
live
on Mars right now.
Yeah.
I think no, because we have new materials and we can do the much bigger things than they built, but it's something like the aesthetic of these buildings. We can say that cathedrals are more beautiful than the skyscrapers, but we see more skyscrapers than cathedral, and it's something like that it's easier to build a cathedral or the skyscraper, you know. This is different materials, different height. I think that, you know,
yeah, sure. I mean, it's a different technology, but
I think, but
at the same time, I think
in nowadays we can build a pyramid if we want, but it's not that we can't do it, but we just don't want to do this because it's useless to do something like this. But for example, several months ago I watch the video and I see that some people build a castle today in France.
Yeah.
In
France, I thought
their methods, like the methods was in the Middle Ages, and it's not something. It doesn't mean that we are more stupid or more advanced than people in past ages. Just we have different tools.
All right.
Like this,
all right. Yeah, but I wonder, you know, building a castle today is kind of it's a weird idea. But then, you know, these people, they try to recreate also the methods of building something. But if you build a castle today, there's no need for a castle because we have police. But if you wanted to build a fortress today, it would probably look different than you know, a middle-aged castle. But
why its fortress is in nowadays, I think the fortress is useless because, you know,
because of the atomic bombs, you know,
hide some things.
Yeah, exactly.
And for like bunkers, I don't know.
Yeah, bunkers, some tunnels, you know. But generally, today's the 21st century fortress would definitely be underground. Because you know, because of the weapons that are so powerful.
Why we want to build a fortress like castle or bastion, you know?
Yeah.
I think that we can't compare things in these ages and the past ages. Who is the bigger poet, the Adam Mickiewicz or the Olga Tokarczuk or Jaś Kapela? No? You know, it's.
I hate this kind of relativism, you know, like, you know, everything is. But I have to agree. Yeah, it's hard. Zuza, we have to wrap up at this point somewhere, you know. So, is there something you'd like to add to this conversation?
I just would like to add that everything is just about the taste. So, or what's people like. For example, today we are building or painting different kind of paint?
Structures, I don't know. Or yeah.
Yes, but
sorry, Zuza, you wanted to say paintings or because I want to have this clear. All right. And there she is.
Oh.
All right. We lost Zuza. Sorry for that. She'll be back maybe.
Yes,
all right, but she's back. All right,
yes,
let's wait.
So go.
Okay. So I can finish here. I wanted to say that that today we are creating different kind of paintings, but in the past we preferred something different. So like everything is about the moda.
Fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, or the zeitgeist, the
trend.
Let's say the trend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. I think maybe Masha, what's the time? Actually, it's time to wrap up, isn't it?
It is.
Great. So, well, I would say big thank you, to both of you. Where's Piotr actually? Because now he's gone. I'd like him just to say, all right. I just want to say big thank you to you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us on this show and for answers. They're just great. I don't know, Masha. Would
Fantastic.
you like to add something?
No, I mean, I'm awestruck.
It's great because in this kind of intellectual ferment that we are having like each week, it's great, and I feel like you are contributing a lot, to what I'm thinking, what I'm kind of asking here in my classes. It's absolutely fantastic, and like I said at the beginning, I didn't want to be your teacher. This is a shame, I'm really glad, your mom didn't let up because otherwise we wouldn't have classes together. It's simply great, simply great. Fine. So thanks a lot to both of you. Let's Masha, let's wrap up maybe with the sacramental phrase,
Let's Zuza say the sacramental phrase. She's a big fan.
Zuza, do you know the phrase?
Oh no, I
don't.
You
know how our podcast ends?
I don't know how it starts, but I don't really remember. I don't want to say something stupid, honestly.
No,
so
you can't.
I mean, you to say.
So this was a very special episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. We had our first guest. Thank you very much. So if anybody else wants to be the guest on this show, you're most welcome. You see, was it scary, guys? Everybody's scared, that's why we...
In the beginning, yes, but
oh.
it's okay. But it was kind of big pressure to say something clever and to make
pressure to say something
clever.
I mean,
we can relate to that. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You produce clever you produce clever thoughts, one after another. It's a pleasure listening to you. Fine. So once again, big thank you. www.studiomentals.com is our website for anybody interested, and Masha, it's over to you.
So thank you everyone for listening. You're welcome, and let's say bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye everyone.